My name's Tammy, and I'm going to share with you some of my life. To begin with, my childhood pretty much sucked. My brother sexually and physically abused me from ages 3 to 12. My father physically and emotionally abused me. Mom didn't protect me from my brother or my father, and she was pretty aloof when she was home because we just weren't close, and my mom worked most of the time. She was never really around. Both my parents are gone now, but I still hear the tapes and feel the emotional pain. I started having suicide thoughts when I was 4. My mom told me that I tried to hang myself. In my head, I could hear my dad saying that I can't do anything right, including killing myself, although he didn't say that specifically, but I believe I would have benefited from therapy at that point in my life, but no one paid enough attention to me to even notice it. It seemed like my parents fought all the time, and I would always go and hide when it started. My life was in constant upheaval, which I think might be the reason I need the upheaval now. When things get small, steady, I just know something's going to happen. Today I get overwhelmed by the smallest things, like too many people talking at once or too much noise. I'm the middle child of an older brother, Mr. Popularity at school, and a younger sister that partied a lot. Me, I just withdrew into myself just to get through the day. About the incest, I didn't know that I could tell anyone or say no. No one ever talked to me about sex. Besides, he was my big brother. I would do anything for him. I feel worthless and unable to do anything right. No crying, Dad would say, or I'll give you something to cry about. Today, I hate to cry in front of people and try my hardest not to do that. My dad got cancer and I had to help take care of him, and being the good girl, I did what I was told. He passed away while I was hiding out in a hospital. A few years later, my mother passed away, a couple of months before my wedding. I suffer from PTSD, severe depression, prescription and street drug addict, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm impulsive. I do things without thinking them through. I do things that I swore I'd never do, but here I am, admitting it in public. I test the professionals in my life. I talk about cutting or suicide, and if they care, they'll do something. And if they do, I get pissed at them. But if they do nothing, then I feel like they don't care. They just can't win. Of course, it's early in therapy, and that's early in therapy, and once we get to know each other, I know that I can trust them. It takes a lot for me to trust people. I participate in self-harm. I cut myself deep enough, even though it doesn't feel deep enough to me, to require stitches. I have taken overdoses and have become close friends with suicide. It's always in my head. I've been in the Akron and Barberton hospitals so many times that the doctor in charge at CSS won't allow me to go into any Summit County hospitals, even though I can feel myself spiraling down. So now when I need that extra safety, I have to go out of county. I've been to Cleveland hospitals and Canton hospitals. I have had ECTs, but I just couldn't do it, so I quit. I'm in DBT class now, which is dialectical behavioral therapy. And that's to learn how to cope in healthy ways. And after that, I'll start the trauma therapy. I thought it was time to quit cutting, so I started drinking. Then I quit drinking because it was getting out of hand. My consequences started coming in: money, family, law, court, and everything that goes with that. So once again, I started to cut, added drinking, and abusing prescription and street drugs. I would binge drink and have blackouts. I have awakened in ER departments with tubes coming out of me and have absolutely no memory of it. I'd be brought home by the police after I was checked out by paramedics and have no memory of it. My husband would tell me things I did and said, and I wouldn't believe him. I drove to get stitches in my arms, and I have no memory of that. thank God I never hurt anybody. I've been arrested 5 times for within 2 to 2.5 years, all for disorderly conduct. I was in alcohol treatment, but I continued to drink and take pills. The final straw came when I started drinking and purposely took an overdose. I have no idea if I actually wanted to kill myself or not. After Akron General got me stable and sober enough, I went to Windsor Behavioral Hospital in Chagrin Falls. I detoxed off the alcohol and off of the Ativan. And let me tell you, it was more difficult to come off the Ativan than the alcohol. This was my 3rd time at Windsor, my 3rd detox, and my 4th time in rehab. For some reason, the 4th time took. I went through Edwin Shaw's MORE program, and I don't know what MORE stands for, but it stands for something. And that really helped. I started going to AA meetings regularly and got a sponsor. However, that didn't work out for me. I felt that I had to hide who I was and that things were going great. I'm proud to say that I have been Ativan and alcohol-free for 20 months, going on 21 months. AA isn't for everyone. It wasn't for me. I could feel the spiraling starting. I can feel it. I know when I need to go to the hospital, but no one usually listens. The last time I was in the hospital, I went to Altman in Canton and would recommend it to anyone. They have a great nursing staff and a great partial hospitalization program. I'm doing fairly well. My meds seem to be working, and I'm working, so that's good. I'm on the verge of another rehab stint. I take whatever kind of pill I can get. I've shot up street drugs and did other things for drugs that I swore I would never do. But here I am. Maybe I'm afraid to get well. I wouldn't know who I was. Or could it be a slow form of suicide? I don't know. I doubt that anyone knows. My therapist told me that I don't do what they want. My therapist told me that when I don't do what they want me to do and continue to act out, they say people just don't want to help me. I'm no doctor or anything, but isn't that the time that I need to help the most? And that's that. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
Can you explain what ECTs are?
They're an electrical impulses shot into your brain, and it's supposed to do things. I don't, not really, no. Are there any other questions?
Why do you cut?
I cut for different reasons. I cut when I'm upset. I cut when I'm nervous or scared about something. I cut when I don't want to feel. I cut when I do want to feel. It just depends on what is going on. So that's that. Thank you. And see if John's outside.